Okay, I want to talk tonight about the protests up at UC Berkeley and how Trump handled that, which is pretty interesting in my opinion. Um, some guy from Breitbart, conservative writer, decides to show up to Berkeley to do a speech. And it sounds like he does a colorful speech. He puts headdresses on and does all kinds of stuff, but it must be conservative. I don't even know. But he sounds like he's pretty conservative because he's from Breitbart. But anyway, the guy goes up to Berkeley, schedules a talk at Berkeley. You know, whoever's out, I don't know if it was Berkeley students or somebody else, but whoever was up there freaked out and they had a protest and did a bunch of stuff. And thank God the police didn't get that involved. So congratulations to the police department, because I don't think they did too much. They tried to control the crowds, but they weren't out there beating people up and, doing all that stuff. So, hey, the police, they did a good job up there as far as I'm concerned. Not that they protected property, because they've destroyed a lot of property, but at least they didn't, hurt people or beat people up or something like that. So actually that was a good thing. But what happened was the response by Donald Trump. This guy takes everything personally. Everything's about him. Everything's about him. So what he does in response to a First Amendment protest of this guy showing up on campus to speak, because a lot of people didn't agree with his views, and whoever it was that was protesting, I listened to some commentary on it, and they seemed it wasn't the students, but somebody was up there protesting about it. But anyway, the way Trump deals with this is he says, that he's going to withhold federal funding for the university. So take away the federal support from the university, which is, a tremendous statement to say about something that's really had nothing to do with him. It was a First Amendment issue. And for him to go out and say, yeah, we're going to take away their federal funding is just all, kind of what Donald Trump's about, this narcissistic, self-centered, me only, attitude that he has. Because it had nothing really to do with Trump. He wasn't the one speaking, and he had really nothing to do with him, but yet he's got to threaten him with withholding federal funds, which is in its own right kind of crazy. Because wouldn't you think there'd be some legislative review over that? I mean, does he just make these announcements that somebody gets withhold federal funding like he's doing with the sanctuary cities? You just withhold federal funding like he's God now with the federal government? That there's nobody else that has any kind of a review process in this? There's no bureaucracy that comes in and, decides, weighs and balance what's going on, decide if federal funding should be withheld. I mean, these are funds that are contributed to the federal government by the U.S. people. And we have representatives that represent us in the Senate and the Congress. And those people should at least have a say in this, because they're speaking for the people, not Donald Trump from Mount Sinai, who steps down and says all federal funds will be withheld from Cal Berkeley unless they get their protests under control, or all federal funds will be withheld from San Francisco or Austin, Texas, or wherever else there's sanctuary cities. If you agree with sanctuary cities or not, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, they're just places where what they're basically saying is they're just going to not go out and round up people, which to me is pretty scary in itself. And that's all they're saying in sanctuary cities. They're not going to go out and just start rounding people up because they're illegal. They're not going to do it. They're not going to spend a lot of resources and time rounding these people up. Do these people cause trouble? Absolutely. Do all of them cause trouble? Just like my last video. No, not all of them cause trouble. There's a small percentage that cause trouble. And those people are dealt with generally. So that's all a sanctuary city is. But Donald Trump's come out now and said, hey, I'm Donald Trump. I'm in charge now, and we're going to withhold federal funding from all these sanctuary cities. So once again, Donald Trump shows how he twists and turns everything around to be about him, not about the issue, not about the fact that he represents all the people, or that there's a process that takes place before some of this stuff takes, some of these actions will actually happen. He just makes these tweets and, threatens everybody. So anyway, whoever you are out there that still support Donald Trump, just think about that. You've got one guy making these rash decisions unilaterally, not within the process of our government, which is laws and representatives that weigh and balance things before decisions are made. One guy, Trump, that's deciding all this stuff. If you agree or disagree, that's pretty scary in itself. Because this one guy is making all these announcements, and he's doing it without talking to anybody or without anybody outside, maybe his son-in-law and a few other close people that he has around him, this O'Bannon guy or whatever his name is. Bannon guy. I don't even remember. It looks kind of creepy to me. But anyway, that's it. You know, he's making these decisions on his own. Like I say, unilaterally, not bilaterally, with the process involved. He's just doing it unilaterally, and he's acting even outside of the range of like a CEO of a company. I mean, a CEO of a company would have to go to a board of directors. You know, there'd be a process with that. He doesn't even do it that way. He just does it because he says that he's going to do it. Pretty scary stuff. It's scary. This guy's in control of the United States of America. Over 300 million people. His control of the U.S. economy, you know, through the government, through the office of the presidency. This is scary stuff. Really scary. So appreciate you watching. Thank you.